Hey, welcome to the fifth day. It's already the last day of this challenge, or at least the official last day. Yeah, it's all about the wholehearted, daring leader behind. So, I'm teaching you this multi-dimensional leadership model. So, there is a wholehearted, daring leader within your inner leader. Then there is that wholehearted, daring leader in front, in which you show direction, in which you have your vision leading from the inside out and always staying in connection with your people. And like if it's your team that you lead, but also like being in your family or in your group of friends, like you do like stand for your vision and what you want to bring into the world or into the group or into your family, and you keep into connection with your family members, with your team members, with your friends. And then the other role is the leader behind that you can transition into. And the leader behind is really, you've been reading about it, it's really about stepping back. And it's not just stepping back like, oh yeah, okay, I'm thinking about my grocery list that I have to do tonight, or oh, I'm just kind of like daydreaming. And no, it's really about a conscious and intentional choice about stepping back and holding the space for your people to rise their leadership, to really like step into their qualities. So it's very much about the being of service aspect of being a leader. And leadership is so much about being humble. It's so much about not taking the spotlight, but actually giving your people the spotlight to really embrace themselves, to trust, to be their authentic self, to also trust to make mistakes, to risk failure. Because in risking failure and making mistakes, there is creativity, that's innovation, that's like bringing it a step further, that's about getting out of your comfort zone. So, as a leader behind, this is such a magical role that you can step into, or at least a role that can create like real magic in the project that you're part of, or whatever is happening in the group or in the team of people. Leading from behind is also stepping into your feminine qualities, because your femininity and your feminine qualities are so much about really like nurturing, like really giving the space to whatever is going to happen, whatever is going to grow from it, whatever is going to develop from it. And maybe you see me like making like this gesture all the time. That's the embodiment of the leader behind. So the leader behind is like really like stepping back and giving space to whatever needs to happen or whatever is trying to happening. Yeah, the leader behind, it's about serving and it's about coaching your people. So coaching skills are really important, and that's about listening. And it's really listening, like empathizing with the person who is telling the story, really being with that person, not thinking of your own stuff, not judging, not listening to respond, because that's what we are doing very, very often. How many times do you catch yourself that you're actually not really listening to the other person's story, but that you're more or less listening to like tell your own story, or to ask that super, super, super smart or intelligent question. So here you're really listening to the people that you're leading or that you're with. On the other hand, you're also asking questions. not asking questions to come across very smart and intelligent, really like asking questions that are empowering, that are facilitating the person that you're asking the question to, or that those are like really curious questions to understand more of what's going on, to understand more of what's going on in the group of people or in the process. So, in the assignments of today, you are focusing on that. Like, what are some powerful open ended questions that you can ask? Like, powerful questions, they're short, they're open ended. And the emotional field. Yeah, maybe you find it like a little woo woo. At least that's like sometimes the reaction that I get when I'm talking about the emotional field. The emotional field is really what you create together. It's like that whole field of emotions of all the people who are part of the field. And when we're talking about the heart and about heart intelligence and about the coherence or the incoherence, if there are a lot of like feelings of guilt or shame or fear in people who are belonging to the group, then that's created in the emotional field. If there are more feelings of joy, of gratitude, of appreciation, then that's what's created in the emotional field. So, as a leader, you are tapping into the emotional field all the time. You're very conscious about what's happening in the emotional field. And on tapping into the emotional field, you need to be connected to your wholehearted, daring inner leader. You need to be connected to your heart, because when you're connected to your heart, when your heart is coherent and your brain and your heart are aligned, you are using those higher brain functions, and you are also more sensitive to those kind of like sources of information like the emotional field. So tapping into the emotional field, that's where you make decisions from. And maybe you make the decision that leading from the behind is like the best option, and you really create that space for your people to be their own leaders, to take that leader in front position, and you are holding the space. Maybe there is also a point that you get information from that source, from that emotional field, that you feel like, oh, now I need to take a stand. Now it's time for me to bring my vision into the game, or I really want to stand for like this value that I find so important, and it's really needed for the group, and it's needed for the job that we need to do. It's needed to get like the best performance, to get like the best results. And that might be the moment that you step into your leader in front, still keeping like that connection with your people. So yeah, I wish you lots of fun with practicing that leader behind role. Also reflecting on, when do you take like that leader behind role, or when is it like necessary to be that leader in front? Because it's all roles that you can transition into. The most important thing is that in the core you keep connected to your authentic source, to your authentic power. So yeah, this was the 5th day. I do have a gift for you, and that's coming right into your email inbox tomorrow on Sunday. So yeah, looking forward to hear from you in the tribe, to hear your experiences, to hear your stories, and I see you soon again. Bye.